Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have been fine and wonderful and marvelous enough to join me this evening to do terrible things to a module that's been around for a while. But we will get to that in a few minutes. Because first, we are going to do some credit where credit is due. These character arts that you see, technically correct, but not really good. The character art you see before you this evening was done using Hero Forge, a spectacular source, and we're not even getting paid to say that. Not sponsored, never asked. The art in the background and behind us and the maps and everything else that you see tonight is from the actual module itself, and we are using Roll20 as our virtual tabletop of choice. With that, let's get to the peoples, because, I want to play, because this game is fun, and I don't know where you guys are going next. So, let's talk to some people. Let's do it this way this week. Sarah, because I know you have news that you can back us up on, because you had news earlier and now you can share it again.
Yes. Besides having Tangor Productions and Tangor Productions on location over on YouTube, I am also in a show and I am also teching a show called Recovery Cold Case.
Ooh,
It's a super interesting interactive Zoom show.
nice.
So,
Perfect. Oh, man. What the last year and a half has done to entertainment, it's bizarre. I love it. The interactivity probably never would have happened. It's amazing. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I thank you in advance for Itikus, because this is going to be nuts. Oh, thank you for 6 months sub. Wow, thank you so much, Roosbar. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Miss Barr.
Oh, wow. I'll get you another game soon, I promise, and this time I'll let you hit something. Beowulf played for us tonight by Solar Dasher. How's it going? What are you up to?
What am I up to? Actually, things are starting to normalize with work. We're working on cutting some baddies out of our group, as you always should once you get new people in.
Absolutely.
And settling everybody down along with dogs barking. But besides having that, my birthday is also this week, so I'm planning on just relaxing on Thursday and then maybe doing a stream on Saturday for a few hours just to celebrate, which you can find right there on my Twitch channel, Solar_Dasher. Otherwise, just working and trying to have a relaxing day.
Oh, thank you very much. I hope you do. Happy soon-to-be birthday. It's that time of the year. Mine was last week. We got another one coming up soon for yours. And to split the gap, we got one who's actually is it tonight. Oh, I wonder who that could be. No, not the guy in the pointy hat. Bison, the birthday Bison. How you doing? First of all, happy birthday. And thank you for coming out and playing with us this evening. And how goes the battle with this particular group in a very different game?
Last week I actually played Cyberpunk instead because I just decided to. It was fun. And I think I might actually be doing that again. I was really enjoying the getting back into it, and Night City is just fucking gorgeous, even with all the garbage bags. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that again tomorrow night on my Twitch channel, Bison_Stonefist. I play 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, and yeah. Awesome. Otherwise, I'm here.
Excellent. I got, as always, I'll pop over after my non-streamed race. I don't stream it because I'm really bad and nobody wants to watch me finish last. Plus, my computer won't let me race and stream at the same time.
Oh.
Send help.
Also, breakfast.
Breakfast of Champions. Birthday cake.
Oh, yeah.
That's better than it used to be. Breakfast of Champions used to be warm beer and cold pizza. Never mind. Finishing off the loop, one more person, Scarred Adventurer, is with us today. Was with us yesterday with a group of heroes or wannabe heroes. Actually, they were fairly heroic yesterday. We'll give them that.
They were.
Yeah.
One got stabbed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, one lost real good. But yeah,
It was
what are
funny.
you up to when you're not here, including that?
When I'm not here, I'm going to talk about yesterday. Anyways, I'm usually here doing stuff, and I'm GMing a game here on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Standard, or is it just Pacific Time?
This is Pacific Standard.
Excellent.
Oh, I don't know. We
Okay.
just changed time. It's Pacific time. Just say Pacific time. That's
Specific
Pacific.
daylight.
it's specifically Pacific.
You know, whatever the hell you want to call it. And speaking of Breakfast of Champions, this is Beverage of Champions for 7 p.m., and I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Well, thank you for staying up with us. Yeah, because that's why.
Yeah. But aside from that, I'm also running a small website with lovely people that I'm going to eventually throttle into getting people to posting again. As well as throttle, I mean throttle to learn the thing that I don't understand yet either. At the
Oh, the joys of
startadventure.com.
technology. Thank you for suffering with us. I normally don't talk about stuff, but after a long break of 4 weeks, I think, we are finally, this upcoming Friday, going to get to do another episode of The Unwanted. There has been 6 bullets being shot out of a bank, very, very symbolically, and they've been there for like 6 weeks. So we're finally going to get to do that fight on Friday. 1 week after that, I get to go back and wrap up with the fine folks at Roll for Damage as Guy, the third version of Guy, who has turned into an animal. He is an absolutely wonderfully, marvelously chaotic, good, dirty cop, and he is so much fun to play at 16th level as a bard. Anyway, let's not do that. Let's do this. Because here, in the world at large, last week, for no reason at all that had anything to do with any narrative in any way, shape, or form, you got in a flying airship race that lasted about 80 feet. But it was violent, it was fun, it lasted a couple hours, lots of people died, you guys got stuff, if you want to see it, come and join us at the Discord and ask us there. There's the link to the Discord, and it's Roll for Damage. Hang on, gotta get rid of the messages. There we go. Yes, you can find us at the Discord over there, and but yeah, Roll for Damage on Twitch after you watch this tonight.
Yeah, this first.
Because I mean that's funny,
Oh, yeah,
but this is going to be ridiculous. So with that, our fine feathered and non-feathered friends find themselves flying ferociously across the flamboyantly flaming skyline. And he stopped. You guys won last week. By attrition, not by laps. Nobody finished a lap. The guy that organized the thing, it was a complete write-off. He lost a ton of money. It's like the Fire Festival all over again. But you guys did all right because you got a genuine giant artifact out of it, and it's a random number generator giant artifact. You won't know which door it opens until you get back. But in your infinite wisdoms, you have decided that 2 artifacts and 2 choices of ways to solve this problem isn't enough. You want more. So, you get back to the ship, and just as you do, the figure of creature has been slumped in that spot since just shortly before you left. And as you get back, you hear almost like a cork coming out of a bottle. Creature, you've been fighting as hard as you can fight against this dragon for days. It feels like months, years. It feels like.
And it's a relative construct.
Oddly enough, you know what an amoeba feels like. Because you were a distraction. So what is now part of you doubled itself, and part of it went into the ship to fight the dragon unhindered. The rest of it popped back into you and spit you back out on the deck.
Well, you'll be hearing a very heavily worded letter from my lawyer about this, but
You can still control the ship psychically, but you are no longer attached to the helm.
I know a trickery domain cleric.
well, they're pretty good with litigations. Let's do that.
So with that, you have a map, which I have technically almost like a copy of over here, because this is the map that was given to you by the giant, the Allfather. There remain, I believe, 7 more artifacts that you could, if you want all the choices available to you, go and find. I know you had a plan. There was a lap of honor involved, in fact. Is that still the plan? And if so, where are we headed?
Beowulf is going to pull out the map that he's been working with, and he's going to bring the group around together. And he's basically going to tell them, well, right now we are here at Shining White, and he's going to point to it, which is where the green dot is on our actual map.
Yeah.
If I recall, one of the things we can do, because we said we were going to finish up at the Great Worm Cavern, would be, our next stop could be Raven Rock, then Morgar's Mound, then Flint Rock, then the Grandfather Tree,
So just
then
yep.
Stone Stand, then the Well Place, one stone, and then back to the Great Worm Cavern.
So a big
At the
counterclockwise
tail
circle. Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. And everybody else, I believe we
And
more or
if
less
everybody
agreed to that.
agrees, we can then go to Raven Rock.
Well, I don't know about the heavily nuanced opinion of our little mechanical friend, but I am completely ready to do whatever this is.
Bickford's still holding the 2 ribs that Beowulf healed last time, but broke when he went through the ship. Rebroke.
Yep.
Like, as long as I got time to sleep, and we have time to maybe get some food.
It's going to be days before you
Yeah.
get there.
I'm running out of sausages.
Yeah, you want me to look at those? And Creature just points at all of you.
He's been sitting at 15 hit points for two sessions, so he's hurt.
I'll leave my terrifying masks over there. This isn't a plague situation. This is just you need medical attention.
I did what I could.
We'll have enough time for him to heal anyways, so.
Oh yeah, no. We're flavoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, a short answer is you can all have a long rest by far and away before you get there. It's going to be days. But with that, you set out. I was going to say who's flying this thing, but there's only one pilot here today. So I guess we should probably cover that. Corfell, as you finish the race, just looks at all of you and says, I think I'm going to stay here for a while. Kind of look back. It's better than getting eaten by something. I'm just going to stay here.
Okay.
Jumps off the boat and goes and hangs out with the crazy people that are racing airships.
Creature was just literally about to push him off the boat. Like a cat does with a glass on a table.
Yes.
Just enough force behind it so that Corfell's entire body moves with the feet and just falls off.
Yep. Oh, quick mention.
Also, he
You're
doesn't
looking at the roll for damage stuff. The VOD is subscription only, but the YouTube, just go to YouTube, the roll for damage YouTube, and it's the last 4 episodes of the Scales Above is the show. Okay, so just so you don't have to chase it about. Sparta. Yeah. Anyway, Corfella's gone into the. He's gonna have a party for a couple weeks with those people, and then magically appear back on the ship because why not?
Source for
Well, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
things don't make sense
That's
with magic
why.
people. We just leave it.
So, creature, you can fly the ship by telepathic command. The weather is fine and wondrous. You know, you've looked at the map. Where you're heading back to is back up on the spine of the mountains. It's cold. It's miserable. It's getting towards fall now. So it's getting, it's going to be, you were just up there. It's going to be absolutely miserable.
Yeah, creature is pulling the old mother creature act and going, all right, everyone, coats.
Beowulf's got a built-in one. Bigford's got most of a built-in one, and Atticus doesn't need one. So
Bigford kind of
neither does creature. Yeah.
every time Bigford's topside, he's wearing the sheets and blanket from the second bed because there were two beds in
Yep.
each.
Yes, there was.
He's like just cannibalized the second bed for like a makeshift poncho.
Yep. Absolutely.
And creatures help sew it together so it looks nice.
It doesn't.
Looks
I see.
nicer.
Yeah.
Nice herb.
As you head up the yeah. Weirdly, it also looks. He stitches it so well it starts to heal. No. You start to move up the valley, sort of following this gap along the south side of the Lurkwood. Because above the Lurkwood, the air is sort of stagnant and still, so it's easier to go up this valley. You do see in the far distance on a hilltop the raggedy-ass protrusion that passes for a griffin's nest. Way off in the distance, you see the long road. And from here, it's like dust motes on a piece of string, watching people pass up and down it. Then you realize that to them, the world is more or less normal. They're not worried about giants. They're not worried about artifacts. They're not worried about any of that shit.
Lucky fucking bastards.
They might be a little worried about going past the Lurkwood. As you get closer to the long road, they start to see you and point. So you are a big deal. There's not a lot of airships, and 3 of the other 4 have been gone for a week. Nobody knows where. Oh, by the way, his new name is the Fartifactor, the Fartificer. Because that was his ship that went. Yeah, so he's the Fartificer. Anyway, you come out of this valley and down over this wide open space towards the road. And across it, how high up do you go? I mean, I guess the people are pointing and oohing and eyeing and such. You are a big red balloon with a ship with skis on it. Some kind of very confused, self-employed Santa Claus.
Well, creature has control. Beowulf is probably just going to stick in his usual little spot, and just if needed, can come out and re-show the map or what have you. But otherwise, he's just going to stay put by himself.
High enough that oxygen isn't. We're high enough that we're not in any real issue. We're not in any danger of someone shooting at us.
Okay.
But we're low enough that oxygen isn't thinning ridiculously.
Oh, yeah. Longbow range is, I think, only 600 feet, isn't it? 200, 600?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
60, 300, isn't it? Something like that.
Either way, I mean, you're...
We're
You
also
stay
staying
500,
at a
600 feet
trebuchet
up,
range.
nobody's going to hit you. I mean, nobody's got any target shooting, nobody practiced shooting up, so yeah. You're still at the point where they can see that there's people in it. If you look out, they'll be able to, like, if you look over the edge, people will be able to see you. There's kids and
Will they be able to
families
see
and-
us fully, or will they be able to see us more as, like, shapes?
Well, at that height, they're not going to see anything unless you lean over the edge, in which case you're coming from,
So
technically
probably-
from the east. So, yeah, you'd be lit. I mean, they wouldn't be able to tell exactly, you'd be human-shaped things hanging over the edge.
Because I am not exactly human-shaped
No.
anymore.
No. But from this distance, maybe they think it's a weird cowl or something.
Okay. I just
Either
wanna
way,
make
they're
sure
totally
I'm not-
overwhelmed by the ship more than anything else. interrupt me at any time, because I'm just going to move us at ludicrous speed towards our target. Because yeah,
I'm sure at some point we actually stop down in somewhere and
Oh, yeah.
pick up supplies again.
See if there's somewhere that Bigford can hawk all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Long Saddle would probably be the best place, or Mirabar if you want to wait till you get up there. Want to go around the edge of the Lurkwood and head up that way? That's on the way,
Mirabar-
at least.
What I remember about it, it's bigger enough. They're more likely to be a wizard who would want those Yeti horns.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
take that one.
Mirabar it is.
All right, so you keep heading that way. Absolutely. So you swing around and sort of follow the long road, because it just makes sense. Then you see in the distance smoke beside the road, and the people below you now, you're kind of getting used to seeing people from sort of 500 or 600 feet up. They start to do that useless thing where they walk. If there's something on the right-hand side of the road, they walk on the left-hand side of the road to get away from it, even though they're still miles away. They're doing that thing. And as you get closer and closer, you see that whatever Xantharl's keep used to be, it isn't anymore. It's been shattered. Big rocks, giant size, throwing rocks, broken down all the walls. As you get even closer, there doesn't seem to be any reason. It doesn't. They didn't break in and take all the animals, because you can see the animals are still there. So this wasn't for food. They didn't take there's gold statuary in the remains, or at least bits of it. They didn't take that. It looks like they just got broken for the sake of getting broken.
I got bored.
Is this something we need to be concerned about at this point, or can we just keep moving?
Not sure, Beowulf says as he walks over after smelling the smoke. But
Up
this
to the edge of the
definitely
ship,
is.
yeah. Well, you've got this wonderful
Definitely.
bird's eye view of this keep as you fly over. Beowulf, give me 2 rolls, because you said sniff. So give me a nature roll with advantage, because you're sniffing.
Mm-hmm. I got the...
Bigford's eyes are only really any good.
Oh.
So it's kinda-
Bigford's eyes are where?
I said only really any good in the dark, so he's
Yeah.
just kind of rubberneck.
Creature's echolocation doesn't go out that far.
No.
And you said you wanted nature?
Yes, please, with advantage.
If anything,
That's
he's
only a
looking
12,
to see if
no.
there's if there's movement kind of down there.
All you know, Beowulf, is that this was done. You can smell giants. Probably not hill giants, not the little ones, but none of the real big ones either. It's hard to tell, because there's another smell that comes over it and kind of overwhelms it. But even a 12 would know this smell. It's the smell of death. Give me a wisdom check. Not a save, just a wisdom check.
Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah.
Thought on par. I'm like middle ground tonight. Jeez.
Yeah, you're rolling right up the middle. In this instance, no. There is the smell of death. There is the smell of giants, and that is connected with the wreckage of this keep. But that's all that you can figure out
Beowulf's
as you
gonna turn
continue to
to
drift by.
yeah. Beowulf's gonna turn to the group and say, "Well, I think giants were a cause, and there's a lot of death down there. I don't know if we want to stop or keep going, but I'll leave that one up to you guys."
Bickard's thinking like that's a lot of loot, and at the same time, I'm gonna get in so much trouble if I say that.
Creature is thinking Creature is thinking there is loot down there, so Bigford is likely interested. Are there any plagues that are happening down there that would interest me? And I don't think Idicus can see anything really shiny from up here. So I think
Nope.
we should be good to just keep moving.
Yeah,
If no one has any objections to it.
absolutely.
Yes,
You
that
continue.
big red balloon not be associated with every fucking disaster that happened to him.
There is that. So you move past the keep and the Lurkwood and its secrets.
Can always travel back there another time anyway.
And soon, and hopefully I'll remember what I had planned, because well, if not, there'll be something else when you get back. You continue on up the road towards Mirabar. You can see it in the distance. This is several days of travel, all compressed in time here, but it is a fortified city. The walls here are almost as thick as the ones in Neverwinter and Waterdeep. This is an outpost at the very northern edge of what is considered by most folks to be the civilized edge of the Sword Coast. Beyond here there be monsters, giants and dragons and such. But Mirabar is a force to be reckoned with all on its own. And yet you can see all along the side closest to you as you approach these stones that have been thrown by giants, that are shattered against the bulwarks and in pieces all along the bottom of this thick stone wall. As you get closer, you can see crossbow and longbow soldiers marching back and forth on top of the walls. They immediately see you and start pointing and gathering in groups.
Maybe we should park a little bit out of sight.
Yeah.
Best
Probably a good idea.
I mean,
You,
I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's do this by the book for once.
we didn't exactly file. What do you call it now? A flight plan?
Speaking of which, I was going to give me an intelligence check, creature.
Oh gods.
See if you can sort of figure out where the logical place to land would be.
I can give him advantage by his system.
It wouldn't have helped. No, it's a typical fort. I mean, it's a round fort with a wall all the way around it, surrounded by farmland. There's a couple little squads out in the Tules here and there running around, and they are definitely moving fast enough that you're not going to get to the ground without being intercepted.
Much money do we have on hand? I mean, this is more just, do we bribe or is there a landing fee that we should work out with them?
Never been here, don't know.
Could always, pay them to just keep an eye on the place until we get back. A couple gold in some soldiers' pockets. That's.
I mean, really, that's the way I did things when I was a doctor. So, here's some money. Leave me alone. I got to deal with death. Also, someone get me. And Creature looks up and down Bickford again. Can you get me some sheets from a bed? I'm gonna need to cloak this.
He'll head down. He'll grab one of the rooms that nobody's using.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Because I think it's just me and Iticus that have taken a room so far.
Yeah, and
Say
as
one
you
of
get a little closer, the one of the groups of guards, one of them produces a megaphone-shaped thing and starts screaming through it. And first, of course, all you hear is but eventually you figure it out. It's land immediately and state your business. And then there's a pause, and then,
big fuzzy
are there
fur.
any giants on board?
No.
Like
No, definitely not.
the craft has already been descending.
Yep. Okay.
So it's not descending really quickly. It's descending at a speed that seems reasonable.
Yep.
But at the same
Not
time, it's
directly
land
sort of at
immediately.
them. Yeah.
Why would we not land? What the hell do you think we're doing? You,
I'm reminded of Stephen Wright, who's talking about death, but it also applies to landing. Of course, you do it immediately. You're flying, and then you're landing. But, but you do. You come down and bring it to a stop on the grass. By the time you get there, 2 or 3 of these squads are sort of gathered around, and the person with the bullhorn was obviously also in charge. And they try. You see them sort of pompous up a little bit and approach. I asked before, are there any giants on board? It doesn't look big enough, frankly.
No giants. Nothing, none at all.
All medium-sized creatures here.
And the 4 of you come to the railing, and he kind of, credit where credit is due. He doesn't bobble, blink, or anything. He just kind of takes it all in. Very well, then. What is it you require?
Just heading into town for some supplies.
There's...
On our way.
We're under a bit of a siege, but if you just need the basics, I'm sure somebody can help you.
Basics. Mostly.
Yeah, mostly basics.
You wouldn't happen to be associated with, I don't know, a large mercenary group or anything like that, would you? Specializes in undead giants or anything like that?
No.
Do you know anybody? You look like a bunch of... I'm going to be polite about this. You look kind of, wrong side of the cart path, if you know what I mean.
How dare you accurately assess us?
I think I like you. You'd have made a shitty soldier, but I think I like you. Okay. Yeah, they got the basics in town. Go ahead, and don't go anywhere near the Lurkwood. And don't trust any giants.
Most of those things are just common sense at this point. Also, your problem is your problem until it becomes our problem, or you make it worth our while. It's one of those things, we'll just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen 4 species of giants sort of hang out together?
No.
Oh, they don't do that, right? They're really classist.
Creature is pulling through memories that aren't his.
Yeah.
To see if he can sift through and find everything
that. In that case, because of the age, the answer is not since the ordning, which was almost time immemorial ago.
Yeah, not in a time you or I would ever bother remembering.
Yeah, because that's what the Lurkwood's full of. It seems like all the giants that are dying are coming back and going to the Lurkwood, and more of them every week.
Goodness.
I honestly don't know where they're getting all the rocks. And he kind of turns around and looks, and you could see there are hundreds of rocks this big that they've been throwing one-handed because they're giants. But yeah, buried and shattered along the base of the wall.
Bickford steps away from the railing as soon as he said it about all those undead giants in the Lurkwood. He's not good at hiding his emotions, and he's not pleased.
Yep.
We're not dealing with this for you.
Yeah. Let's land somewhere not near Lurkwood.
I got family in the Lurkwood.
You got family in the Lurkwood? Is that what you said?
That's where the bark swipes
Right.
live.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse us a moment, pompous person.
How did you
pompous
know my
Titus.
name? Pompous Assus. Of course it's his name.
Yeah. Do we need to go to the Lurkwood?
Freds, help. Freds.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
They're family. They're my people. I can't just fuck off.
All right, let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
As in the back of his mind, Bickford's head hears the sound of an empty coin pouch. Later.
All right. It's fall, autumn, if you will. And it's getting late in the afternoon, so it's starting to get dark. I believe you wanted to do some business here in Mirabar before you left. So maybe spend the night and not go blasting off into the Lurkwood in the dark.
That sounds like a plan.
Sorry,
said
just in the
leadingly.
classic D&D fashion, we all have dark vision.
Yes, we can see 60 feet of terror in all directions. All the terror's got a range of 90 feet and can see 120. Well, fuck.
I only have dark vision as a wolf.
Yeah.
As a human, I am regular.
I know. I just wanted to say that.
Which is
for the
funny
sake of
considering
saying
how much
that.
wolf meat a wolf eats that you're regular at all. Boy, back to the game. I hadn't been funny enough, so I'm just going to help it. Anyway, you guys are at Mirabar, so you are welcome to go in and purchase and buy and sell. You mostly wanted to sell stuff, right?
Yeah.
You got prices for all of that, right? I told you
No,
how much they were worth?
I have no idea. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
See if it's actually something that
Anything that you guys want to sell that was worth a value, this place is offering 80% of that because they are in stressful times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have Monster Hunter carving in D&D. Me stealing parts, there's nothing fucking.
So what was it
has
you wanted to sell?
The gold statuette that I stole in like 3 months ago. What the fuck was that? I don't even remember.
Gold statuette. Let's call that 400 gold pieces. It would be 5, but they'll give you 4.
All right, and the 2 Yeti horns. And I've got 2 gemstones that I think. Crap. I didn't get them identified.
Let's do
Oh, yeah, that was
250
also-
each for the Yeti horns. So 500 for the pair.
All right.
Anybody else got anything they want to add?
Creature has no money.
Yes.
But for the purposes of this, we're going to pretend he has just enough money
Yes.
to buy medical supplies.
Yes. Oh, yes. You would go to a local clericage.
No, he would go to the local apothecary.
Oh,
He's
actually-
staying the hell away from clerics.
So, yes, much better. Yes, goes to the apothecary / alchemist and gets your stuff and your cleaning supplies and all the goodies. So yes,
Yeah, no, I am going
Easy.
nowhere near
Yeah.
someone that can do
your medicine kit is
You're
refit.
dead, aren't you?
Yeah, the guy doesn't even blink. Say, oh, been in the wars. But yeah, that's about it. Right?
Really, creatures bundle up in such a way that all you can see is the snout,
Yep.
really, of what he is. So
Yep.
he looks a bit like just a white dragonborn that's shy.
Yep. And yeah, the people in Mirabar seem to be a little bit jaded by everything. So, Beowulf, was there anything you needed to sell or buy?
I was looking into that right now.
Okay. Idicus?
Arrows
Arrows, absolutely.
completely out.
Yep. 20, 40, 60, whatever you want. You're on a ship. You can take as many as you like. Don't worry about cost. That's basics.
Yeah, he'll probably take 40, honestly.
Yep.
Without
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, take 100. You got a ship, like I said. I'm not going to charge you for them. That would make no sense.
Creature, while people are still wondering about purchasing things, is also going to walk over to the nearest hospital.
Yep.
Both see what he can do to
By
help
which you
out.
mean, yeah, a non-religious
see what he
building
can
that
do to
does healings.
feed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, you find
because there will be triages.
you find a military hospital that is treating the soldiers who have been hit by that are defending the walls during these attacks. And as you're healing them up, you hear stories from all of them. There's hill giants, storm giants, cloud giants, all the kinds of giants you can imagine, all dead in this giant shambling undead army that comes out of the Lurkwood and just seems to wander until it finds a place and then attacks it. If they can't resist, they get crushed like Xantharl's Keep. So far, for the last 2 weeks, Mirabar has stood strong, because they're giants, but they're undead. Stupid as
So-
rocks. Stupid as the rocks they throw.
Who's raising them? Creature will kind of ask around about that.
There's one of the soldiers you've been talking to is a little more talkative than the other ones, and you kind of get the impression he might have been one of those ones that was offered a position in the army so he didn't have to go to jail or maybe to the scaffold even. Like, this is wasn't a good person, but is now doing the right thing.
Sounds familiar.
And they
Yeah.
say, if I was a believer, and I used to be, if you know what I mean. And he looks over to the guy next to him. He says, can I still do this? And he just points a finger and mutters a couple words. And the guy in the next bed, you see one of his wounds gets a little bit smaller. Oh, shit, look at that. I used to be a cleric, Pelor, before I stole all their gold and fucked off. But, I don't know who's bringing him back, but I've never seen anybody bring a giant back. I've seen, or at least heard, stories of dragons. Just about everything else, but never giants. Whoever or whatever is bringing them back is probably something you don't want to meet in the dark in a Lurkwood, if you know what I mean.
I think the Lurkwood should have a bigger fear of me.
Yeah, I'm sure most of it does. But you can't kill what's already dead, right?
The idea. Why kill what you can absorb?
Either way, there's hundreds of them in there.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm gonna need to do a little. It's a little old-fashioned, but we're gonna need to bleed you a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do that. I'm gonna keep, and you can see him start casting. Was it Healing Word, the one you can do at range, just like 1d4. He just starts kind of very subtly casting it on everybody in the room.
Yeah. You keep doing that. Make my life a little easier. But turn that on me. And well, the tongue just lolls out, and it's clearly not a dragonborn tongue.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, we don't really want to find out what happens, do we?
I didn't want to find out what was happening before, man. You seen the nurse? Or hey, you got any morphine?
Oh, you're already on several drugs.
Yeah, I know. Do you have any morphine? I mean, you're leaving, right? You don't care.
Creature kind of looks both ways, considers for a moment, and takes an almost lethal dose of morphine. Not quite,
Yeah,
but just jams it directly into his neck,
yeah.
plunges it through, and goes, night night.
Oh, he just relaxes. For a second, you think you've overdone it, and then this very slow breath. And a smile spreads across his face. He may not even be conscious, but he's happy.
Yes.
And
I
you
know
finish
what I'm
up your
doing.
rounds. Yeah. You finish up your rounds and move on. Bigford. Your people are right over there in Lurkwood.
Just for the record, Bickford bought some hurlbats, which are just basically hand axes.
Yep.
That are versatile. And 6 lesser healing potions, the 2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 350 gold.
Yep.
He's also buying some food, and apparently he's a little worried he's getting some general medical supplies.
Yep, absolutely. First aid kit for the boat, at least.
Yeah.
Weirdly, the boat with the red dragon sponsoring it doesn't have safety supplies. I mean, who knew?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. when you run into Creature later, you're going to see him with a sack full of almost the exact same medical supplies. Samesies.
Yep. The other two, Beowulf and Idicus, you've got a night in Mirabar. I joyously and with great expectations say, what would you like to do?
Well, Beowulf was doing a tiny bit of shopping.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to buy a quarterstaff.
Okay, easy. Yeah, don't worry about the cost. Just drop it on the old sheet.
Yeah, I'll do that in just a few moments.
A biffin stick.
Then he's probably going to quietly walk around. He doesn't care if anybody follows him from the group.
Yep.
But he's going to walk around and see, well, is there like a fighting pit or a place that he can just let loose for a little bit and as a human? He just feels like getting some rage out.
Absolutely. If you ask around, everybody that you ask sends you to the same bar. They say, there is an official, there's like a place where an ex-military guy will teach you to fight. But if you just want to let loose, there's a bar you can walk in and start a fight with pretty much any 3 words you like. Just look at anybody and say something and you'll get in a fight, if that's what you're looking for.
And
Favorite fighting words are Jello shot, bitch.
I also bought some studded leather armor.
Yep, no worries. The only thing I'd need to go ahead and buy any of the normal stuff you want. The only thing I'd need to know about it is anything magical other than healing potions. Because there might not be much of that. So Beowulf, is that where you're to the bar or to the official sort of gym?
I think he'll help the barman clear out the bar. So what he'll probably do is go to a bar. Go to a bar, walk
Volunteer
up to the
bouncer
barman and ask who's been giving him trouble.
Yeah.
And then just go over to that person and totally piss them off to where he fights, and then he's gonna look at him and say, "Let's go outside." And he's gonna take that guy and take care of business.
That's the offer you make, and the bartender says, "Well, actually, your timing's pretty good. I'm supposed to be closing in about now, frankly. And I have a hell of a time getting them out. So I don't care how. I don't care who. I don't care by the window, by the door, or by the garbage chute out the back. Just get them out. I will pay you." And he looks around and counts. There's 16 of them. 16 gold if they're gone in 20 minutes.
Oh, I think I can do that. He smiles and a little growl comes from his throat. And he basically looks at the group.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Who thinks they could take me on?
And the first one stands up. And I feel no need to roll the dice. I just one by one, eventually groups of 2, sometimes even 3, just coming at you like waves bouncing off a rock. They're drunk bar people. There is at least one defenestration, probably one per window, because they make this wonderful screaming sound as they go through the gaps between the wood and smash their heads on the cobblestones outside. Mm-hmm. You just mow the grass. It's like a Jackie Chan movie. It's just, these are drunken bar morons. You are a trained killing machine. You have to hold back to not send widows, to not make widows tonight. You just clean the place out. And when you're done, you turn around and the bartender looks at you and just reaches under the counter and counts out very carefully. You see him count 3 5s and a 1. He shakes his head and reaches under the bar and pulls out a stick looks like it's just a stick about this long. Mm-hmm. And he says, "I see you just got that. That thing is so damn new. It's still got sap on it." He said, "Just here, take this and just do this." And he squeezes one spot, and it's a quarterstaff. He squeezes the spot again and it shrinks back down. Just take that. I never seen anything like that in my life. You wouldn't want a permanent job being a bouncer, would you?
Maybe after my adventure is finished, I'll think about it.
Oh,
But
please
thank you
do.
for the staff.
I got stories to tell. No, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Some of them are never going to come back. I don't care because they're all assholes. Maybe I can finally build a better clientele. What's your name?
Beowulf Blackmane.
Beowulf Blackmane's Bar. How's that sound?
Sure.
Free drinks every time you come back.
You got it.
All right. You any good at killing undead giants?
I was looking into that. I was thinking about doing something about them things. I'd have to get with my group to make sure.
I just figured because that bunch of drunks you just threw out of here is close to undead as anything that's still breathing can be. Anyway, free drinks for you forever. The new sign's going to go up tomorrow, assuming my smart son can spell all those words.
I could write them down for you if you like.
That'd be just great. Thank you. And they hand you a beer-soaked napkin and a burnt stick, and you write your name on it.
Well, he takes out a parchment and
Okay.
a quill and writes
Yeah.
it down professionally and all that.
Probably the nicest piece of paper that's ever been in this dive bar. The chances of him getting a better clientele are zero. It's in a really shitty part of town. You came here to fight. You got to fight. But yeah, he claims he's gonna name the bar after you. We'll see the next time you come back. But anyway, you write your name
Exactly.
down and feeling good about yourself. A little blown up. You realize the only thing that happened is one stitch got popped on the sleeve. It was probably you. It probably wasn't even one of them. You probably just flexed so hard you popped it. But that's the only visible damage from the night. There's not even a bruise. You make your way back to the ship because I'm assuming it's safer to sleep there than anywhere in this town. Etiquette. It's all dark outside. It's a whole city. What are you doing?
I'm going dumpster diving.
Okay.
No one's watching me.
Nobody's watching. It's splang off the ship and gone into the darkness of the besieged Mirabar. There is an innate goblin thing. You can find garbage. It's just you may not understand city architecture. You can't read, but you just know where people were going to throw their shit out. And you just make your way. And you fly through the alleys like a shadow amongst a shadow. A little metal clank, 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 clank is all anybody hears. The real goblins, the rats, the other denizens of darkness give you a wide berth because you realize they're scared of you. The ones that can see you. I mean, you're sneaky. But the ones that can actually see you are terrified of the killing machine in their midst. You smell of dead spider and dead barbarian and dead giant and dead everything. And you move like the wind in the shadows. Give me a
Luke Goblin.
investigation or perception, your choice.
Yeah.
16.
The one I'm good at.
Yes. You flying down alleys and back places and you skid to a stop. You almost missed it because there's an outhouse here. The only outhouse in all of D&D, because nobody who has ever played D&D said, I'm going for a shit. Nobody's ever said that. So this is the only outhouse in all. We never do that. Never shave. Never check your hair. And yet, look at the art. It makes no sense. It's a fantasy world. But anyway, you almost missed it for that smell. But then you stop and say, that's food. And you don't do food. But you remember this food. This food is made by elves. And elves have lots of neat stuff. Lots of shiny stuff. You kind of follow your nose a little bit and you see the pile of garbage behind a row of great big houses. You don't know if they're fancy or not, but they're big. Now, you can tell they're elfy houses because they're all pointy. The windows are really narrow. Yeah, everything's all graceful, I think is the word the elves use for it. But all their shit's out the back like everybody else, and there's a whole row of garbage along there. You can smell all kinds of food that they think has gone bad. You're not even sure it's done being cooked yet. But in amongst it, all these little elfin goodies, little broken charms and bracelets, little bits of jewelry, all sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. But then there's one little blue stone that's literally sparkles with its own light. It's just sitting there. It looks like a weirdly cut diamond. You've seen lots of diamonds. They're expensive, right? You know diamonds. You don't do dumb things with diamonds because you can get money for them. But this one's all weird. It's not cut like a normal diamond. Every side is different. But every side, one at a time, goes boop, 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 with light. Just a pale blue light comes out of each one like a window.
I'll take that one.
And you pick it up and give me a perception check. 11. Yeah. You kind of look at it and the light comes out, but there's kind of shadows in the light. It's almost like shapes. Maybe if you held it closer.
Yeah, that's what he'll start doing is like
Yeah.
the put it in your hand and do this.
Yeah. And as you close it around your eye, it jumps out of your hand and into your eye socket. Plunk.
Oh, crap.
But it fits. And as you open your eye, every time you blink, you realize you can change a side. You
Okay.
blink, and in one eye there's an image of a town of a village of goblins being attacked by hobgoblins, bigger, nastier hobgoblins. This is not your people, but you see it's almost like a slideshow. What I'm thinking is one of those the things that had the pictures on
Yeah.
the wheels, and you did it. Yeah, that's every time you blink, the picture changes. But because you're a Warforged, you decide when you blink, so you can watch the whole scene. They're attacked by hobgoblins, but one of them comes to the rescue and kills all the hobgoblins and drives them away. And is treated like a hero, and you blink. And there's another scene in a castle. The humans in the castle are trying to kill all the goblins. But one of them finds a way out and leads them all to safety. And they all cheer for that heroic goblin. And every time you blink, there's another heroic goblin, heroic goblin, heroic goblin. Until eventually, Iticus, you see you. Yeah. You see you running around fighting giants. Blink. You see you fighting a giant spider. You blink. You saving Bickford. Blink. You being friends with Creature. Blink. Stuff that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of hard to blink. See is just a blink. Like, it's hard to stop. Blink, 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 blink. And in the end, Iticus. Partly whole goblin again. Partly with your own memories, partly still metal. That part isn't decided yet. But in the end, they're treating you like a hero too.
I'm going to go back to the ship in hopes to find Creature, and I'm kind of like doing this to my eye the whole time,
Yep.
so I don't blink. Because I'm going to ask Creature to take it out, because this is...
Give me a... You're borderline panicking. Give me a wisdom saving throw. Perfect. You can't stop blinking. Just seeing more and more images. It's just more and more heroic goblins. Do you want to try and take it out yourself, or you're going to go get Creature to do it? You go back to
I'm
the
gonna
ship.
get Creature because I
So
don't
you-
trust myself.
Back to absolutely. You run back through town, bouncing off stuff, and the people that were afraid of you the first time through are not. This time they're like, oh, maybe there's a weak. Nope, she's gone, or he's gone. You know, they almost consider you as prey, but you're moving so fast to get back, they leave you this time. And you roar back to the ship and run up the boardwalk and find Creature.
Bad shiny. Help.
Creature, you look down and there's this multi-hedron inside Iticus's eye hole.
Right.
These shadowy images on it. Every time they blink, another facet moves to the front.
Follow the fingers. Look, little bunny. Little bunny. Pluck.
Give me a sleight of hand. Because Iticus is pretty quick and just automatically might react. We'll see.
Where's my sleight of hand? It is not terrible, but it's not great.
17. Yeah, you. Actually, I see the 17 and the 21, so why not? Let's do a little creative storytelling here. Your hand snaps out and bounces off the metal brow of Iticus, and without thinking, a tendril comes out of your mouth and snags it out of the eye.
I'm thinking the Three Stooges. He goes in, Iticus does this.
It just automatically does this, yeah. But yes, you pull it out. Iticus, you blink. All the memories are still there, but it's gone.
Keep bad shiny away from face.
Creature not able to actually put it into any eye socket because
Yeah.
he doesn't have them.
Yes.
Just kind of feels it with his fingers going over the multifaceted sides.
And as you do, it starts to change and soften and get rounder. And instead of being just white and sparkling all over, an iris starts to form and a pupil inside the iris. You realize very quickly it's a goblin eye. A real flesh and blood goblin eye. And it blinks at you.
Yeah.
Very difficult to do without eyelids.
It has
Impressive.
eyelids. This is a fantasy world. Eyelids come with the eyes and not the face. Because the face is a warforged and doesn't have eyelashes. But yes, in your palm of your hand, Iticus, you can see it as well. And it rotates of its own will and looks over at you and blinks. And for just a second, you see yourself through it.
Bad shiny. Bad.
So you don't want us?
He'll end up taking it and putting it in his bag.
Yeah.
Creature goes,
Iticus,
good,
you-
because I was going to eat it if you didn't.
Iticus, you put it in your bag, and a couple minutes later, you kind of get a split-second image of darkness. An iPod. Oh.
Sorry.
And you realize that you can connect to this eye and see through it.
Oh. Damn it. He'll pull it back out.
Yeah.
And just kind of look at it, and this time holding it away from his face.
Yep.
But he's going to be like,
What? What want?
And you concentrate, and you see from the eye's point of view, little metal Iticus standing there, but like a ghost, sticking out in places and hidden in other places. The goblin that was Iticus. And in the eye sockets, not the empty space of a warforged, but two perfectly good goblin eyes. It blinks and the connection breaks, and you're just looking at this eyeball in your hand again.
You good?
Blink.
Wilfred.
Blink.
And he'll bring it closer again.
Mm-hmm.
No scary.
Blink, blink.
Okay.
And
Because it's always
I
one
guess-
for yes and two for no. Always. You don't have to ask.
and I guess Idicus will go back to his room and put it in.
Okay. So you carefully bring it up. And this time it doesn't go on its own. You have to put it. It's your choice now.
Okay. So yeah,
And you're
then
not quite sure what it can do yet. But at the very least, you could take it out and put it somewhere and see through it. It's not exactly scrying because you still got to get it somewhere, but when it's in your head, you just see through it. When it's not in your head, you can choose to see through it. At the very least, but you get the feeling there's more. The way it keeps seeing you as a whole goblin, there's got to be more. So Idicus's adventure gets a little personal and dark in the bottom of the ship. I'm thinking in the bowels of the ship.
he'll start thinking and then go
No.
and come back up to be with everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't like to think. Yeah, I'd rather just deal with it. I'll think later. I don't think. I'm an Idicus. Then yeah, you come back up, and the rest of you see there is now one empty socket, because in my head at least, Warforged don't have eyes. They can see, but they know the socket's there, but there's nothing in it. And one very, very organic goblin eye that blinks and looks around like a regular eye would.
Bickford's just like, it takes him a second. Because he's kind of still, he's worried about home. He knows
Yeah.
Lurkwood is home for him and
Yeah.
what exactly is going on. I'd like to say he also, if he can, get his morning spell enchanted.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. You guys at this level, yeah, make a plus. Still just a +1 for at Mirabar. If you were in Neverwinter or some of the really big cities, then yes. But here, a +1 is probably all you're going to find in a besieged city. And no, it's not besieged in the manual. Xanthar's Keep was probably standing in the manual. I didn't even look. I just decided as you got close to it that it had been destroyed. So just like this, it only happened because, because Idicus went looking for something and rolled well. So now I have until next week to stat out that eye. Never, ever miss a chance to move a backstory along.
How much is that going to cost?
I don't know. Take off a reasonable amount.
Okay.
I don't care. I hate money in games. It slows everything down. Details. With that, unless anybody has anything else, the night passes. Everybody gets a full rest and prepares to continue on. So, the next day you head towards the Lurkwood. And as you close on it, you see why it's called the Lurkwood. Even on this bright fall day, it's cloudy and misty and a very thick multiple layer canopy, so you can't see in. Here and there smoke and steam rise. Because of all of that, none of you, except for Bickford, could possibly know where the hell you're going. But Bickford, you do. So you sort of steer them left and right. We're gonna
Watch
say
out for that. Hit a quick Sam.
Yeah, don't go over there. Yeah, you guys are flying along. Yeah, and don't go. Yeah, don't stay out of the steam. The smoke is okay. Whatever the rules are here, and you take them to where you know you're directly above your village. You can't see it even through the trees. Even you can't see it, but you know it's down there. There's no way the ship is going down.
We sort of look around to see if we can find a place to land it, because no offense to the elementals that live on it, he doesn't trust it just sitting in the open idling.
Yeah, you can rest it on the canopy. The trees are that thick and strong, but there's no way, there's no holes. You look around, there's no clearings. It's like a rainforest, the exact opposite of a rainforest, like exactly like a rainforest, but evil. Not evil, tough, rough around the edges.
You can park it down there, but we're gonna have to climb.
There are ropes. They got dropped the very first time you guys met this ship, so there's easy enough to climb down the ropes and the trees.
I mean, you said like climbing trees is difficult. As creature walks down the mast.
Yeah, you can just walk. Yeah,
I keep forgetting you can do that.
billowing and wild. Yes,
As he-
indeed, it is.
Throws the rope aside over the edge so we can.
Well, easily enough. I mean, like I said, multiple canopied forest, so it's easy to climb this stuff, especially down. Up might be more challenging, but you've got ropes for that when you're done. You go through the top layer, thick, kind of oily leaves designed to protect against the outside world, into a gap. Through the second layer, much softer, lighter colored leaves designed to absorb what little light gets through to here. And down to the third layer of canopy, which is really more to keep the ground down than it is to keep anything else up. This is where there's all the spiky leaves on the branches to keep all the ground stuff from climbing up and eating the soft green leaves above. You know this ecosystem well. As you climb down Bickford, you get below that, you're still 100 feet off the ground. But the split second you climb through that canopy, it's just trees everywhere. Bickford, you can tell the different species and how they're all interacting and how this vine only grows on this kind of tree and stay away from that one because that's where the snakes are and all that stuff. It really is like going home. Except when you break the bottom canopy, you can tell from here there's no fires burning. There's no kids running around unprotected and unescorted and uncared for, as there should be, as is the way. There's no adults. There's no smell of food. There's no stock, no livestock. It's absolutely Mary Celeste kind of empty.
Pickford swears in Goblin and starts making its way down a little bit faster.
Just hurry down to the ground. The rest of you following?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going down, yeah.
Absolutely. Bickford, you get to the ground first and sort of just charge into the village. It only takes a second and no roll. You look around, the fire's not just out, it's rained since the last time that fire was on. The pot's still there and the soup that was in it's been all watered down by the amount of rain that's fallen.
Which means, Beowulf might actually be able to eat it.
It's been like at least 2 weeks since anybody lived here. You look around real quickly and you know where everybody lives, right? You know where the people live and the head bugbear lived and all of that. There's grass growing up in the cobbles. Nobody's here.
Yeah, he calls out anyways. Steve! Steve, where are you? You stupid hobgoblin bastard, where are you?
The only response you get is the birds, all ravens and such, just that your voice disturbs, fly further away into the forest and settle again.
He makes his way to Steve's hut.
Steve. You get to Steve's hut. Doors. Bugbears don't have doors. They're just like the flap is pulled open, like it's left open. Which even for Steve is weird because he's got stuff in there. You look in.
Oh, that weird bugbear pornography.
Nothing is gone. He didn't take anything. Whatever the equivalent of your phone and your watch and your wallet is all still here. His stick and his walking stick and his backpack, it's all still here. He took nothing. You look around, the food's rotting, like the hanging vegetables that were on the wall have been here long enough that they're rotten. Give me a perception check.
Wow.
I'll give you the advantage because this is your buddy. You look around and there's one spot on the floor that's just way too clean. And you look again and it's a dirt floor. Somebody's dug a hole and then refilled it.
Hey guys! Sort of calls everybody over
Yeah.
as he, with his claws, starts pulling dirt.
Beowulf runs over.
Very, very obvious that those it was dug with claws. It was dug by Steve. And you dig and dig and dig, and you find a stein, Steve's stein. That it's a clay mug. I kind of pull it out, and you can see somebody scratched a message in the side, probably with their claw. The spelling's awful. It's just, but it's Steve for sure. You recognize his scrawl. He's written rude things in the side of pewter cups before.
Yeah.
Except it's not pewter, it's clay. But yeah, you lift it up and kind of have to step out to the door to get the light on it. And it says, what does he call you? Bicky? That's what I was going to call you.
He calls me the talent to most people,
The talent.
but probably Bick.
It says, Dear the talent, and that's crossed out, and it says Bick. We're fucked. Undead giants. Can't kill them. Have to run. Don't stay here. Don't steal my shit. Steve.
He pockets the stein and puts the greatsword next to the altar of Grumsh, which is the bugbear god that
Yep.
that the village serves. The bugbear god of sneakiness. And as he leaves the hut, he's like, "They've all fucked off. I don't know where they went. They're telling us not to stay here, but we gotta figure out what the fuck."
You spend a little more time looking around. I mean, like, this is your town. You're going to glean a lot just walking around, right?
Creature.
You figure out. Yeah, go ahead.
A creature, since he's been here, has been letting his undead sense
Yes,
kind of
okay.
spread out,
Yeah,
trying to hook into anything.
okay. Yep.
And Beowulf is turning-
undead
Yeah.
nature.
Beowulf has turned into a wolf and has been sniffing around to see if he can find any traces of which way they went.
Gotcha. Beowulf sniffing. Idicus?
He's trying to be helpful, but then he keeps getting distracted by shinies and then goes,
No, no, no.
Who's trying to help? Oh my goodness. Talk about a character growth moment. And Bickford, you just, not notes, but just stuff that you see around, you put it together. This is like a diaspora, however you want to pronounce it. They did not leave here in a group. They went.
He's like, "It's gonna take months to find the kids."
Oh yeah, and yeah, you know, the kids would have been the last ones to leave, and they only
They
would have
probably-
left when they got hungry, right? Because they don't get taken care of, right? The parents just would have left, right?
And they would have just scattered in like little packs.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that every single person left individually, but they did not leave as one group.
Yeah.
They broke off into subgroups and smaller groups and 3s and 4s.
Does it look abandoned or does it look attacked?
It is absolutely abandoned, and in fact, you go back into the head person's hut, and you find some notes scrawled, carved into a wooden tabletop, and one of them is, "If we're not here, they won't attack?" ? Which ties in with what you heard in the city,
Yeah, they're
which was they wander around till they find people and then attack. So if there's no people, they don't attack, they just wander off.
so Bickford's had some experience working with four necromancers. And this doesn't sound like necromancers. They tend to be pretty grandiose. Everyone wants to be a lich.
Yep.
And so they usually have plans. They don't just let them loose. They let them loose on something.
Yes.
So yeah, that doesn't. And he doesn't know fuck all about wild necromancy. So he's confused. He's like, this doesn't sound like somebody planned this. Saying this to Creature and everybody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something's wrong. But I want to find what arose them.
Beowulf nods his head.
Not anybody I know that would have. Actually, it's not anybody I would have known. They've all died off or did what they wanted to do.
Yeah, you realize you've been gone long enough that a generation has passed. You are an old man. A lot of the people that when you left this village would have just died of natural causes by now. Died of being a bugbear.
Bickford is kind of a local legend in his tribe.
Yep.
For having been campaigning for so long.
Yep. But what all else that you can draw from this right now is a Creature. Let's get back to you. Your undead sweep. You can feel it, just your spidey senses, just way out in the fringes. But it's very confusing because it's there and 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 it's there. Beowulf, you're sniffing and it's like the wind is coming from all directions. Everywhere you sniff, you are surrounded. You both realize at the same time. And there's a ring of undead giants approaching. You can't see them yet. But between your sense of the undead and your sniff abilities, dozens, maybe 100. They're still 3-4 kilometers away, 1.5 miles, 2 miles, but they're closing.
Fred, if you want this village to stand, we need to leave.
I don't like leaving without knowing where to go. We need to stop this.
Then we have the second option. There aren't a lot of things that can talk to them. In fact, you're standing next to one of the only living things. Being a relative term. I might be able to communicate with them even a bit.
Closing.
I talked to big friends.
It's not the same, Iticus. They don't
This
have...
is more like the spider. Doesn't talk back.
Oh.
Just hates.
Get back up to...
Did someone say spider? I am a hero. I am here to kill the spider.
You guys get to a safe distance. I'm going to get away from the village a little bit.
Safe distance in this instance may be up to the airship.
It's literally what I mean.
Yeah, undead giants can't fly. So are you staying on the ground, Creature? Because you can
Creature's
do
going
this just
to-
speaking, right? So
Yeah, Creature's going to take off a little bit away from the village.
okay.
To the closest group of giants that he can feel.
Okay, yep. Sure. And then the rest of you climb back up to the ship? Or what is the plan? Don't let me put words in your mouths. What do you do? Is the what I'm
Because
supposed to say.
Creature very much tells everyone, get back to the ship, essentially.
Yeah.
And then, in a burst of speed, he's gone.
Bickford grabs the altar to Grumsh that's in Steve's room, or Steve's hut.
Yes.
It's not his god, but
Yeah.
it's his people's god. It's close enough. And he's going to take that with him. He's going to put it in his room on the airship. But he's going to wait till everybody else is gone before he does that.
Give me okay. So yeah, you wait till okay. So Oedicus and Beowulf, what do you do?
Well, if he's gonna get back on the ship, he needs to change back to human.
Yep.
Because it's kind of hard to climb when you have paws. Yeesh. But he's gonna make sure Idicus goes up first.
Okay, Oedicus.
Idicus is sneaking away to go help Creature.
Okay, Beowulf.
Which Beowulf will then,
Give me
before changing back, try and grab him.
Okay, give me a perception check, Beowulf, to see if you see them, and I need a stealth check from Oedicus. Oh dear, 24 stealth. That's going to be very hard to see. 14. Yeah, you spin around. Where the... Ah, fuck. Oedicus is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna give out a slight howl then.
Yeah,
Hopefully loud enough that Creature can hear to let him know
yeah.
that something is awry. Change to human and get his butt up onto the
Okay,
ship.
so
'Cause,
you're going up.
yeah,
Okay.
he if he wants to talk to these giants, he's probably just gonna do so from their height.
All right. Everybody flees. Bickford, you look around for a second, sneak back into Steve's hut. You put your hands on the idol. The whole shrine is like a bunch of stuff attached to stuff. You're not like you can't take all of it. It's just too many pieces. But you grab the idol itself. What does a statue of Grimsh look like?
Grumsh is a very tall, very gaunt bugbear with oversized yellow eyes. In his home domain, he can always see, and you always know that he's watching. So he kind of looks like Mothman,
Yeah.
a little bit. Just sort of this watcher in the dark. And so yeah, it looks like it's a blackened wooden fetish of what looks like a bugbear with really large citrines for eyes.
Citrines for eyes. I love it. You reach over and grab it. And as you turn for the door, you have to look again because you could have sworn those citrines blinked. And you turn and look at it, and they fucking did. Because there's a set of bugbear eyes, just the brightest yellow bugbear eyes looking up at you from this, what should be an inanimate object. And it reaches up with its little hands and grabs your thumbs because you've got it with both hands. And it just pulls them against it. And it stares you in the eyes. And it doesn't say anything, but you get the overwhelming understanding it wants you to close your eyes.
He does, just because the look that he's getting is unsettling.
Yeah,
So he
you
tries
just
to look away, close his
it's
eyes.
almost like a blink, like I'll just blink and that's but as soon as your eyes are shut, it feels like you go straight up, but you can see through the trees. You're 500 meters up, staring down at your village. You can see in the distance the ring of undead closing. You can see Creature and Oedicus heading towards it. You can see Beowulf heading up the rope. Beyond that, miles, kilometers and kilometers, leagues and leagues beyond it, there's like a ring of dots on a radar screen, all slowly going further away from you. And every one of them, when you concentrate on it, you know their name. The dots are in little groups, some of them. When you stare in the eyes of this statue and close your eyes, you can see every current living member of your tribe. And they are spreading like a ripple on a pond. None of them have stopped. They're getting as far away as they can every day and have been for 2 weeks.
Like a lot of fucking movement in 2 weeks.
Open your eyes. Yeah, this is a race that moves, right? This is what they do. So you open your eyes and you look down and the citrines are back. It lets go of your thumbs. The little arms go rigid again. And it clearly becomes inert for now.
He puts it in the pocket that has small fruit. The doll that it
Yep.
is.
Absolutely, yep.
And then he heads out and seeing that, well, knowing where everyone is, and that Idicus will be
Yep.
completely fine on his own,
Yep.
he heads up with Beowulf.
So you up the trees, absolutely, or up the rope and back into the ship. So Beowulf and Bigfoot are now back on the ship. Creature, you're heading into the forest to just find a place not near the village, I'm assuming, so that if they do come here, they won't. There's nothing to destroy, right?
Yeah.
You feel the ring closing. Idicus, are you letting Creature know you're here, or are you staying hidden? No.
I'm gonna stay hidden.
Okay.
I
We'll
also
use
don't
your
think
24 stealth
Creature's-
from before. Are you even going to look, Creature?
Creature's taking off at full speed. He's not even in the vicinity of Idicus.
Okay, so yeah, you're gone. That's a good point. So yeah, Idicus, you're sneaky as hell. You went the same direction as Creature, but you can't see him. He's gone. But he must be over here, sort of somewhere, right? He's fast, right? He's fast. Maybe you just have to keep going. But what do you do? Do you stop and go back? Do you keep going? Do you even think about it?
Keep going.
Just
Not
following
thinking.
Creature, absolutely. Okay, Creature, you are flying. You finally get to a spot and stop. You're very close. You're probably only a spell casting range away from the nearest undead, which is just slightly ahead of the others. This one's a stone giant.
Well, wherever you are, Uncle Creature wants to chat.
Is this an ability or a spell that you've got that you're using?
No, he can just talk to the undead.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
an unearthed arcana class
Yeah.
race feature.
I got you. Yep. It stops coming forward, and the head kind of creaks and looks at you. Won't eat you yet. What do you want?
I want to know what raised you. I want to know why you're here. And I want you to know that I won't eat you yet either.
That just doesn't parse. You can see it just doesn't process it. It can't imagine itself being prey. It doesn't know you. But it does answer your first question. The Dark One brings us back. The
Who
Dark
is this dark
cloud.
one? Dark cloud?
Yes, like us, but cloud giant, stronger, makes us live again.
There's a giant necromancer.
Dark cloud. And yes,
Okay.
it sounds for all the world like there is a cloud giant necromancer out there, raising the undead.
What is your goal?
No goal.
Then
Dark
why
cloud.
attack?
Stop speaking.
Well, now I'm speaking.
Hungry. Need food. But not eat.
Why not eat?
Eat and not help. Still hungry.
I'll let you in on a secret.
And he motions just a little bit for him to lean down a
Mhm.
bit.
You can see now others looming out of the dark, out of the gloom towards you. They're getting very, very close. It's Grumsh now. We
Okay.
just changed the lore. Yep.
You'll never not be hungry. This is not a gift, but a curse. You know the dark cloud that brought you back? It did this to you.
Yes. And now gone.
Gone as in dead, or gone as in not here?
Not talking. No rules. No place to go.
Are you looking for him?
Yes. Want. Belong.
Well,
Creature just kind of splays his hands out.
I can give you release.
Don't want
Allow
release.
you to...
Want belong.
Oh, but this is where you will belong.
Starts to shake its head, and the others get closer, and it's almost like it's drawing strength from the others. They are very close now. We are moments away from going into combat with dozens of undead giants.
Meanwhile, Bickford is telling Beowulf where he knows Creature is because of the zoom out.
You would know, yeah. Absolutely. So you
And,
basically got a radar map. So you
yeah,
start to
and-
move the ship over towards that direction. Absolutely, yep.
We're staying at relatively the same altitude because I can't talk to the fire elemental, but I
Yep,
can talk to the
just
air
above the trees, yeah. And you can use the levers downstairs to move, yeah.
Creature is going to do something that I've done a couple times that I really like doing. We're going to exert our own will over the giant.
Yep.
Not breaking the connection that he has,
Yep.
but asserting ourselves into that connection.
As you start the process, it's going to be easy. I mean, controlling an undead mind, there is nothing to it. But the other hands, the arms of the undead reach in and start grabbing and pulling and tearing on you. They're going to rip you limb from limb.
So they've already physically grabbed me, or
There are
mentally?
moments. I keep saying it. I'll say it one more time. There are moments left. You have seconds to react.
Yeah, I'm. Because you've said I've got control over these undead minds.
Not
essentially.
control. You can talk to them.
Talk. Okay, I meant I'm asserting control.
Yeah, over this one you can absolutely, but not all
Okay.
of them. There's dozens.
Stop them.
I'm not Dark Cloud. And the first hand grabs your sheet and pulls it off, exposing you for what you really are. But there's zero reaction. Another giant hand reaches down to try and grab your head like a grape.
Using the inhuman flexibility that I have, I just start climbing up the arms.
Yep. And are you going to continue up and jump into the trees and head out, or what is the plan?
No, creature knows something is coming for him. With enough of the Beowulf howl from before.
Okay. So, were you staying on the giant, or are you heading up into the trees?
I'm
just
staying
above
on
them,
the giant, and really.
I need acrobatics then to stay on the giant.
Okay.
Use that asshole to hit the other asshole.
24.
Okay.
Yeah, you managed to. It's kind of doing that, but it is undead, and you managed to basically climb up onto its shoulders. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make just a straight wisdom throw to see if I can assert control over not just this giant, but over the larger.
There's no. You got to do them one at a time.
Okay.
I can
well,
save you the roll. Yeah.
Creature's going to start doing that one at a time. He's got dozens.
Yep. You would have
Each
to
one
get.
takes him a few
Yeah, you're gonna have to get above them for sure to continue to do that.
Oh yeah, creature's going to do that.
Okay, so you head up into the trees. Iticus, you're running in the general direction that you think they are, and you can start to smell them again. These undead giants, and you start to see them when they start to close in around you. There's many, many, many of them. More than you've got arrows.
This still as giving Iticus the moment to think about it. It's just as the giants that want somewhere to belong. Creature just went,
Well, now you belong to me.
Give me.
I may not be a dark cloud, but I am the dark tendril.
Give me a wisdom save.
okay.
14, yeah. You reach out for that control, and it should be easy, but just as the tendrils are starting to touch, you feel something awaken, something that was asleep, something that was dormant, very far away. In space, anyway, and maybe even in time. But it's a lich. It's maybe even an arch lich. It has been dead for centuries. And it says very clearly in your head, it's like somebody pouring oil in your ear and it going all over your brain if you were a human. It's that bad, just hearing this voice. They're mine. Thank you for waking me. And you
It's good to see
feel
that
your
you're finally
will.
awake.
You see your will just pushed out of all of them that you're trying to attack. And they and start trying to climb the trees after you.
Yeah, creature's going to do a very quick perception check to see where, if Iticus is anywhere viewable.
Give me a perception check, yet. Nope. Not a clue. No idea.
And creature is going to dodge and weave as much as possible
Yep.
until he knows where Iticus is.
Okay. Iticus, you see creature kind of flowing towards you, running towards you through the trees, being slowly, lumberingly chased. It's like a giant, like giant clowns. But they're always just behind you, no matter how slow they're going. You can Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Great movie. Absolutely amazing
I love that movie. Sorry.
You see them coming towards you with now hundreds of undead giants behind them. There is, it is very much like the spider. There is no, before you can even think, Fred, it is clear, not Fred. Bad, shiny. That's what these people are. Bad, not shiny. They're, and he's just, creature's just scanning with those non-eyes ahead of him.
Iticus is gonna start taking off back towards the ship.
Turn around, and the two of you just out of sight of each other. Creature, you catch up to them just as you get back to the rope hanging down from the ship. Because they're closer to you now. Because Bickford, you have to like all of a sudden they start to run, and you just you keep looking at the idol and getting the image, and moving around. You can do that as many times as you want, by the way. Let's make it 4 times per long rest. Just we'll figure something out. But yeah, you can still use it to triangulate and move, so that you drop the rope down through the canopy. As the two of you get to the bottom of the rope, I know creature doesn't need it, but now circling in from all directions are these undead, now motivated, driven, their power back.
Creature is just picking up Iticus by kind of the collar, essentially.
Yeah, on the way by, yeah.
Yeah, no anger in any feeling that creature is giving.
Yep.
It's just running up the rope.
Run up the rope, yeah, absolutely. You see the giants start to climb behind you, and they're undead, but they're giants. And you guys race up the trees and up the rope and into the boat, tumbling into the boat as you do. As you land on the deck, creature, you can now command the boat to rise if you choose to do so. It is just above the treetops.
Hi guys, we're moving.
You reach up. As you start to lift away, you see arms and then heads start to stick out through the canopy, undead reaching for you. You're an impossible distance away. There's no way they could, but just the desperation to get to you. It's like the forest sprouts prop of undead giants reaching towards the sky, trying to pull you down.
Creature pulls out a little notebook and writes down, and writes in his little tiny notebook. You just see on a list is just undead I've pissed off. 2.
Dark cloud, yeah. Bigford. You've used it a couple times now, this statue of Grimsh. It's shown you some things. Unbeknownst to you, but much like Idicus's eye, there's more to this than you can imagine. That was the least of its abilities. That's like accidentally turning on the GPS portion of a cell phone. This is one of the things it does. This isn't an idol. This isn't a statue. This is a direct line to a god you no longer believe in.
It's not that he doesn't believe him; he just doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah, well, okay. It's a direct line to a god that you don't care about.
Yeah, it's not that he doesn't believe in the god. It's just it's not his god.
Yeah, and you have helped. It has helped you repeatedly in the last couple of hours to get your friends out of a very difficult place.
Bigford's having trouble processing that because I mean he hasn't really worshipped the bug-eyed bugbear in nigh on 40 years, like literally since he was a child. And now it's helped twice. He thinks it's because he's trying to help the tribe. He's probably going to spend the next little bit in his cabin kind of just staring at it. You know, set it down on the floor a couple feet away, propped up against a pillow.
And after you sit there staring at it for a couple minutes, it relaxes and sits back in the pillow like a beanbag chair. Just sort of poof. It's been a long time. By the way, happy birthday. And that is where we will drop the curtain on tonight. Oh, we never even got to where we were going again because we just started making stuff up and it was way cooler than what's in the book. So the book. This is amazing. Yeah, everybody's got more cool stuff now. Creatures finding out that they do have limits. Yeah, you've made an enemy out of a lich that you can't kill, apparently. There's a dragon that is kind of, creatures finding out they've got limits.
Oh, Creature is thrilled by this. He's not at all worried.
Yep.
He's gone. I've taken over.
Thank you for the spare bits. I'll take all the spare bits you got.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Creature is doing a bit of
an elbow. Yeah.
I've realized that I've taken over a god before. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it again.
Yep. Yep. It was good because you learned limits today. Bickford learned maybe got I have to think this through, but I'm thinking of offering you a level of cleric. I'm thinking about it. I'll have to talk to you this week and see what we come up with. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you to everybody tonight. It was all off the cuff. It was such a good time. I love where this story is going. I made a bunch of notes. I got a week to think about them. Thank you so much, Scarred, for bringing Creature and being good with finding their limits. I appreciate that very much. Go to thescarredadventurer.com. Soon there'll be stuff there. Soon there'll be more stuff there. As soon as they quit yelling at it.
Every Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday stuff's going up. And then other people are putting stuff up, except people that are hiding behind Little Frids, who are not putting stuff up, but who have put stuff up before. And their stuff is probably still there, or should be there again soon. Either way. Go check it out.
Everything got deleted. I had to start over.
Okay. Well, that just gives everybody else the opportunity to start over again, too. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Oh, Solar Dasher, thank you for taking time out of your busy week. As always, it is so good to hear that you have got some actual time off coming. I'm looking forward to you relaxing. That's so much. That's how much I know that means to you. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. You look like you're about to fall asleep in your chair with your void cat, so we'll get you out of here as quick as we can.
Thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, Sarah, thank you so much. I know you're in practice and getting ready for your show coming up, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. I always enjoy the way that those turn out. So thank you for taking time away from that and coming and playing with us tonight. Iticus is just trouble with a capital T. I love it. I love all of it. Truble, because you can't spell. BBLE, Trubble, that's it. But thank you so much for bringing them to us again. And finally, the birthday bison, thank you so much. I managed to work it in. We got you a present even in game, even though I didn't get you one in real life. Thank you for joining us. I'll let you get on with your birthday now, and the timeless tradition of getting shit-faced on your birthday can now begin.
Well, I actually fucking work tonight.
Oh, well.
I've got 2 days off after that. So
Okay, well, yeah. The almost nearly timeless tradition of getting shit-faced on the days off closest to your birthday, which starts at around 30. Before that, it's like, fucking, I don't care. But thank you for joining us as well. We will see all of you in the next week or so as we get to these more and more of these games. Thank you to everybody in chat. I appreciate you all coming here. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the stories. Thank you for hanging around. And thank you to everybody on YouTube. If you watched all the way to here, please hit the like button. And if you want to be reminded, please hit the subscribe button, because I don't have anything remotely like a schedule when stuff goes up on YouTube. It goes up when I remember. So, with that, thank you all. And until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.